It's a sunny day in Jena, a small city nestled between mountains and a forest halfway between Frankfurt and Berlin. A man with tattooed arms sets up a video camera and points it at a girl. She's 16 years old. It's 1991, 20 years before she'll torch the apartment and carry her two cats to the street. Her shoulder-length hair is frizzy and brown. She's dressed in skinny jeans, earrings, and a loose-fitting top. She's sitting outside a youth club that's under construction. The man, Thomas Grund, is a social worker who will help run the club once it opens later that year. Two teenage boys sit on either side of the girl and light cigarettes as they posture for the camera. One of the boys asks how they should sit. "Any way you'd like," Grund replies. The girl accuses one of the boys, the one with shaggy dark blonde hair hanging in front of his eyes, of hogging all the room and tells him to scoot over. Once they're settled, Grund begins the interview. He asks whether they all live in the housing project in Jena's Winzerla neighborhood, the one built in the 1980s for workers of the Carl Zeiss company that manufactures lenses for cameras, microscopes, and more. The teens say yes. "I like living in the ghetto," the blonde boy replies smugly. "Do you all have your own rooms?" The boys say yes. The girl says nothing. "How long have you been here?" 2 or 3 years, says the dark-haired boy, dressed in an army green hoodie. Grund asks the girl whether she lives with her parents. "Yes, with my parents," she replies, declining to elaborate that she's never known her birth father and that her mother is rarely around. "In your own room?" Grund asks. A pause. "Yes, my own room," she finally answers. Grund asks more questions, but she doesn't seem to listen. She's distracted by the blonde boy with the bangs. The two flirt and lock eyes as she crosses her legs and rests her knee on top of his. She inches closer, unable to sit still, running her hand through her hair. At one point, they both lean in until their faces are a few inches apart. Then they freeze, remembering that the camera is still rolling, and pull away. But she can't take her eyes off him for more than a moment without sneaking a glance and flashing a smile. "Are there ever conflicts between residents?" Grund continues. "Yes," the girl replies, her attention drawn suddenly back. "And not only with residents, but also with the police," the blonde-haired boy adds. He tells Grund that there are conflicts over everything: harassment, robberies, even assault. "Where do you go to hang out?" Grund asks. "Discos and small corner store casinos with slot machines and sports betting," they reply. Asked whether they earn enough money to support these habits, the girl says nothing. Only later, after the boys have said their piece, she adds that there's nowhere else for us to go. "What do you like to do in your free time?" Grund asks. "Training with women," the dark-haired boy replies crudely, which causes the girl to laugh. Grund tries to get them to focus, asking whether they're afraid of being unemployed. The girl doesn't answer. The blonde boy stops flirting just long enough to say, "No." When Grund asks whether violence is a part of their lives, the two boys talk over each other in a race to reply. "From time to time," says the blonde-haired one. The dark-haired boy looks skeptical. "When things go down, they really go down." Asked about their hopes for the future, all three of them look around blankly, unable to reply. 16 years earlier, the girl, whose name is Beata, came into this world by surprise. On January 2nd, 1975, her mother, an East German named Anna Rosa Appel, walked into a Jena hospital complaining of stomach pains. Doctors suspected kidney stones, but within hours, she gave birth to a baby girl.